So I'm being blackmailed by having a loose vagina, but I never did because my vagina was tight and I was like that girl of lovely bones. My hair's messy. I'm going to try and do a treatment, but they've kept me blackmailed for more than 7 years. And I'm asking for us to wake up about the Islamic takeover. Why am I being persecuted over my purity? And I've been blackmailed from very dark forces of this Islam by destroying my purity. So, I mean, at this stage, he's so famous now, my landlord, that it's time that he can have a conversation with me because it's kind of like you can't keep destroying my name to all my friends and family and making me dead. But the thing is I didn't get born with a cock or a massive vagina and I didn't have a massive hole. This is not from me. Somebody just blackmailed me and gang raped me with billions of all these bikies, and they've got them barricading all the land and they've murdered my mother. And I'm upset about it. And I have a right to be upset about it. And I have a right to feel. I have a right to have my real education of of my intuitive healing work and my heart and compassion, which is all in my artwork. They decided to open a factory of that and start fleecing me of my heart and my emotional connections, and just they destroyed me with a lot of sexual violence and massive dog degrading and lots of insulting me that I was a mental nut job and all these things, and that's not who I was. I came from an energy of harmony and peace. All of my home was at peace. Me and my mum were at peace together finally, and in Australia, and they've invaded my mother. Like, I've had dreams of my landlord sitting with my mother, so, and dreams of my mum sitting with a pink bus and a knight, which I don't know if it's England or the people of the movie things, but it's still that's my family that have been invaded, and there's no place for healing, and there's no open transparency of why my body's been mutilated and why I got sold to gang hazing for them to do. Like, they did a hazing thing of throwing me in a toilet. They've done a hazing thing of like putting Viagra in me and pushing my vagina out and cutting it open. So I'm like really ethnic cleansed and disrespected. And I'm saying I'm upset, but it's also like this is sad for me because family means a lot to me. They're the people that know me the most, and they're the people, also the people that I can have the most fun with, because it's kind of like they're the people when you know them the most, you don't have to wear your armor around them and you're just straight in having fun. Like, I miss Mark's family sitting around playing board games and having fun with them. I miss even my friends. I used to sit around playing board games and having a wine together. I don't have this ever since I left my landlord's house. And I mean, I think they want to look perfect in the front of the face of the earth, but due to all of this political movement and USA making them all influencers, I think I really should be allowed a voice of why I got killed. I was an innocent girl, and it's got something to do with roses. So my vagina's been a huge part of causing me hatred, and they said it's all to do with a guy called Tom Ford. Is that Reuben? So he got put into killing my vagina in the public so that no one would be around me. I mean, it's not a very fair situation. I just had my whole life ruined. And I'm just telling you, I would go under a lie detector. I've never had problems in my relationships. Not like this. Like, I've had problems, like petty things, like you said this or you said this type thing. Um, but I was a young girl at heart. I was about camaraderie. I was about teamwork. I was about doing the right thing in life. And they had an army here, South African army, doing apartheid. But they'd already built a wall 3 years ago. I actually went to buy a boat. I bought a yacht, and this French guy came and picked me up. He said they're building a wall and they're just saying you're a fucking head fuck. You're just a real dumb fuck and nobody wants to talk to you. It's like hitting your head against a brick wall. You're like a piece of shit. And I said, why are they doing that? And they said, oh, he goes, oh, I don't know, I had an ex that put me through like a court case. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, I had an ex that put me through a court case that wanted me exiled for 4 years. Now, I don't know if that's like Reuben and my landlord putting me through court cases or what, but I got told I was actually being like, in this country, I got told that I was being blamed by all these men that they're victims of me. So is that James and Reuben and John? Are they all having a big cry that they're a victim of me? So who's accountable for all the mutilation? Do you understand that that's actually my body being ripped apart? Now, I'm still talking, but do you know the whole city and the whole communities hate me? No, you understand throughout this for about 7 years, every time I move to start again and have a positive start, which is the hypocrisy, they say go be positive, but they come along with a gang and cause all this negativity, like massive muscle going around the community of the honeys saying don't like her, don't be involved with her in it. So I was a very innocent person. I had purity in my blood. So the only reason my blood would be dirty is through or contaminated is through violence. I have done nothing wrong in my life. I was a preppy girl that just went and did my education. Look at the lovely bones girl. That's pretty much what I look like. Really, like I had a real narrow face like that. I had a really, really bright eyes. I had an innocent face. And I mean, but I've seen a lot in my life. But I was always protected. My mum and my sisters were quite protective over my life. They've got their flaws, but they're still been. I appreciate them as people. Like I appreciate. I mean, it probably doesn't mean much because he's really destroyed my life and really made me like nobody likes me or cares about me. But to be honest, because my family and all that are kind of winning and probably getting all this money and being around people full of huge egos and all boosting their egos. But I mean, if I had a good reputation because this was crime that happened to me, that's made domestic violence, that's caused me the fall, even without any of that, and if I was still like my own reputation and beautiful, I would still be saying the same thing. Like, I really appreciate the family that I was born with. Like, I'm happy. Like, I didn't have huge problems with my family. Now, I believe in soul ties. I believe that I was connected to Karen, very much so, and I believe I was connected to Darren. I believe that they got put on a bus and shown the toilet video, and I believe she's just been bombarded on the internet that I'm a fool and I'm crazy and all these exes. Just, I think that's what happened in the park. I was in Ramuera recently and I was dreaming and they just said my uncle died. And I just was like asking my grandmother, how did he die? And she said, your exes killed him. So my exes have gone into my uncles and killed me, and I also was being followed by the Japanese young boys who were taking away my milestones out of having family life and birthdays, because they've hijacked my birthday since I got to Australia. Yeah, they've been having all these rituals like taking away my innocence and purity and making out that I was a prostitute of these men, and I wasn't. I would love to go under a lie detector. I was never ever a prostitute. I was a really, really quiet person that stayed at home and was studious, and I don't deserve this. So it's just scary because they've got me in a pipeline, sexually assaulted. They're blackmailing me with all this vagina stuff. They're blackmailing me with chemical violence, and he's making life not worth living. And I'm saying, you've destroyed my name, and the police said that they can't help me because of the people so high up in the police force, and you can tell that the police force that want to harm me are they're a different group. Because I can tell, because the ones that were helpful to me aren't nasty. They're not rude. They're just, and they're kind of nice to me. Some of them are kind of really nice to me, but it just seems like to be honest, it seems like the ones that are ethnically like darker, and I'm not racist because a lot of my friends were black. So I'm just saying a lot of my friends were Samoans, and a lot of anyway, so it just seems like a lot of the ethnic groups really hate me, like the dark skinned ones, and they're like really in this massive thing hating me. But it's illegal what they're doing because you're destroying my citizenship in New Zealand and you're destroying my citizenship in Australia. And you've destroyed all of my influence when it was actually my work. I didn't get the credit for what I worked for. And you're also, because I'm being blackmailed with vaginal and anus and all this other dirty, disgusting stuff, and I'll go under a lie detector. I was a real conservative woman that was about my future. I don't want to be. I'm a bit like Tammy. Like, I lived with Tammy, but she's more outgoing than I am. She's all been roped in and squeezed by this Kiki too, making the bullying that I'm Ugly Betty with that haircut and I'm Cheryl West. Like, they've got all these TikToks bullying me, all of them. And then they've got these other TikToks, oh, her life's turned to shit now that she's not dating Derek. And it's like, my life's turned to shit because of the Islamic takeover, and every time I'm good at something, he wants to replace me. And I'm asking directly, like, why can't I be known for what I did? Why am I being sexually abused and tormented and ruined? Like, I want to have, they were all my friends that they bought them all off me. Honey bought all of my friendships. And I'm saying I would move to other parts of the country or I'm really adventurous. So I really want to go to Perth. I really want to go to Perth or Tasmania and just go start a life and start again, but they don't. They are always attaching themselves to my life, and I can't succeed. I think there's some ego war because they think that Reuben is of some sort of status in his career, and they don't want me to reach that sort of status for some reason, and I don't know what it's about, to be honest. I don't know if it's about the Asian girls that want to be superstars and don't want me to reach that level, or his blonde exes, or what, or it's a man's thing. Because I had nothing to do with these people. I went overseas to do it. I just went overseas to try and get my own life back on track, and I've just had nothing but abuse from the police, from the bad police. So they're denying me the right to go to work all these years and causing me crap. The Bean police. So I think that's why a lot of the black community and a lot of the black police hate me. But they treat me racially like I'm less than. But I'm saying, even now that they've put me into this like exile for all these years, I still have the same status. And she's cursed my vagina, but it's been ruined. It's been cut all open, and it's not even the same color anymore. I think they blowtorched it, and the edges are like all black now. And it wasn't. It had, it had a color to it, and it's not. Like, they've really mutilated me. They didn't want me to be pure or pretty anymore. That's all I can put it down to. It's just a real vanity thing where they think that they're beautiful and they get to destroy my beauty, and that makes them have all the attention and the love if they keep ruining me to all the people. But I'm just saying, I was such a cute looking person and I always had romance, and just to like really come at me with such barbarianism from all these black women, it's cruel. Like, I don't know why I'm being abused like this, but it needs to come out in the public because I don't want to live my life with this shame. It's not mine. That's why I'd rather die. It's just kind of like, why should I live with crime where you have gotten away with domestic violence of ruining my vagina, and then you're all like off being romantic together in the public, acting like you're romantic stars and serenading each other and having all these love stories while you ruined my life, like for no reason, but for power, for an Islamic takeover. Like, where am I meant to go now? It's like, you're going to send me off to Australia, but I'm still going to be kept in a cot and in a wheelchair. I won't be able to thrive in life. I'm just going to be kept as a dog, a slave in chains. It's not really a future that I wanted. I wanted to just, I really, I'm also a lot like Marina too. Like a little bit. Like, she likes to just go to work and like enjoy her money. That's what I like to do. I mean, am I like, I just, yeah. I mean, I think I'm a leader when it comes to like healthcare and all this kind of stuff, but to kind of, I mean, to face rejection from Sam, it's really tough on me because I knew him when I was that soft-hearted girl, and he sees me as this ruined trash bag because of what these men did to me. And it's not, I don't feel love or anything for him, but he was a friend of mine that I valued because he was so good to me. And I don't like that the people that were really kind to me in my life and that I spent time putting effort into having these connections, that they've severed all my ties with sexual blackmail. It's and anal and toilet videos. It's actual real extortion. It's not fair. Look, and I wasn't even a dirty person. I was pure. So they seem to think that if you destroy someone's purity, that you get to live a life of goodness, but it can't ever wipe away the deeds of people doing crime and killing and beating people up and sexually abusing people against their will. I don't think destroying somebody else's innocence or happiness is going to really ever give you the peace that you need. It can give you a false mask of being an achiever and a false mask of being like great and someone successful, but the inside job that you have to do yourself is something you have to come home to yourself, to your own soul, to your own heart. At the end of the day, you will always have in your mind that you've killed somebody or you've raped somebody or you're paying to destroy their health and liver or you're paying to ruin their family. You can create a facade that you're a good person or a good family, but at the end of the day, I think people must know at the end of the day, when they look in the mirror, they must see that they are a killer, or I've killed somebody, or I went out of my way to cut her vagina apart and I wanted her to hurt and feel pain. I wanted her to be socially outcast and I wanted to ruin her. I think they must see that when they look in the mirror. Eventually, it must catch up to them. And that's what I'm saying. How come I can sleep so well throughout this whole thing? Because I'm not guilty of anything. And that's why I don't really care that I die, because it's kind of like it's not that I'm dead inside, but there's no one to love, and I'm persecuted and disrespected, and I'm not allowed a purpose. So that's the whole point of life. So I don't understand why I I think they're just keeping me alive to keep me suffering.